And here we are. It's Monday, August 24th, 2026. I just realized it's Kobe Bryant Day. 8/24. Would have been his 48th birthday yesterday. I still can't believe he's gone. That is the celebrity death that has affected me the most. Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players to have ever played the game. All right? Mamba mentality and all of that. Can't believe, I think it was early 2020. Right before COVID started. That's when he passed away. And I remember my friend Matt in the group chat just texted. He put, "Dang, Kobe died." And I went, "No, man, you're full of it." Because usually he's the type of dude to start saying some heinous crap in the group chat. And then I Google searched it, and sure enough, yeah, he was gone. What? I think I was in the shower, too. Heard my phone going off. So technically, I heard about Kobe Bryant's death naked. Again, I'm sorry you had to picture that. If you want to get a hold of me, you can. 208-535-1015. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. What did I do? Mostly shopped around with my friends Bryson and Charlotte. Actually went outside for once. Quite shocking, I know. Decided to go out and around town. I did spot a listener or two at Target. I just didn't really say much of anything because I don't really want to be that guy that goes, "Hey, how you doing?" But anyway, I did buy a plant. I bought another plant, a pothos. Josh from Classy 97 inspired me to. I initially wanted to get it for my place, but there was no room, and it's one of those that hangs from the ceiling, or it should hang from the ceiling. But I have it right here behind me in the studio on the counter. I can decorate the Z103 studio however I want, without having, Victor come in and judge everything. The one time I plugged in a wallflower, you would have thought I came in with a knife. Those guys were freaking out. Oscar-worthy performances from both of them. It's Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101. We'll be right back. Well, also over the weekend, I did it again. I got rid of something because, it was failing, unfortunately. And when you have to say goodbye to a plant, it's like losing a pet, for those plant people out there. I'm not necessarily a plant person yet, but a while back I did buy this tree from Costco for like $11. I think it's a Monstera. It was a Monstera. And it had nice big leaves and everything. It was surviving for the longest time. But then just out of nowhere this summer, might have gotten too hot for that plant. It started to droop down and down. And, I was like, you know what the solution is? Take it outside to the patio. It'll do so well out there. It'll get the sunlight it needs, the fresh air it needs. No, it got even worse. And then I talked about it on the air. One day I showed up back to my place after work and just saw it on its side on the ground. And it got way worse from there, and it kept falling over, brought it back inside, falling over. And last night it fell over again, spilling mulch and those fertilizer beads all over the ground. And I went, you know what? It's time. It's like watching your 18-year-old dog limp around the house, and you're like, you know what? It's in too much pain. We need to toss it. So I gave it a proper funeral. I was outside in the back alley of my apartment complex looking down, saying what I'll miss about the plant and everything. I was in the dumpster just laying there, hearing what I had to say. Rest in peace to my Monstera tree. This one's for you, Ghost Square Hammer. Peach's Pit Party right here on K-Bear 101. I do need to reach out and see if Mafra is doing any interviews. I would love to get the chance to talk to her because, she just blew up in fame. Really. I mean, she was doing these covers on YouTube, and her Doomed cover that we just played for you right there went ultra mega viral. And I told Victor, we got to put this into the playlist. And of course, a lot of people prefer the original Bring Me the Horizon version, and I do too because I prefer the original version of songs. But I jam out to that song in my free time too. Sometimes I'll be like, scoot over, Bring Me the Horizon. I want to hear Mafra's version. And of course, with it blowing up in such popularity, of course, it was going to gain a lot of hate as well, as with anything does, especially nowadays. You go online, and there's always that one dude that has to put in a nice hot take. I don't understand the hype. That's the go-to phrase now. I don't understand the hype. That's the go-to I kept seeing all these different posts over the weekend too about what was it? Oh yeah, about these like name a band you wholeheartedly hate. And of course, as you would expect, Sleep Token. I can't come up with original thought. Sleep Token. It's always the Sleep Token people. And like I bet you they can't name 3 different songs that they've actually listened to. They just, the internet told me to hate Sleep Token, so I do. Same with Nickelback. Same with Ghost for the longest time. Ghost doesn't really get the hate like they used to. Greta Van Fleet doesn't either. Sleep Token took it all. Sleep Token, again, blew up in popularity, and sure enough, they took all the haters with them away from Ghost and Greta Van Fleet. I was supposed to talk about this in the last break, but I got carried away talking about the Sleep Token haters out there. Well, as of now, it should have happened. I'm hoping. This is what happens when you pre-record a radio show at 8:15 in the morning. At 1 p.m. today, I should say, I did interview the band Ninth Key, but I don't necessarily want to say that because every time I have done so, the band has not shown up, and then I have to embarrassingly say at the end or like a little bit later on in the show, say, hey, they didn't show up. So, I mean, who knows? Who knows what can happen? All of a sudden, our Wi-Fi could go down, or our internet could go down. Anything in this building could go down, like it usually does. And well, at 1 p.m. today, I was supposed to interview the band Ninth Key. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of them. I played them as my pick of the day today. Their latest track, No Place Like Home. I was actually sent their song the day it came out. That song that I played for you at the start of the show. And then I get a call from the record rep who sent it to me, and they said, well, SiriusXM Octane has the exclusive for the premiere to that song. I'm like, well, it's available for streaming everywhere. What do you mean they have the exclusive to premiere the song? And I guess Octane just had the premiere, even though it was out worldwide. I could have listened to it right then and there. I was going to play it against his wishes, but I was like, you know what? We're good friends with the guy. I don't necessarily want to get on, I don't want to have any animosity there between me and him. He's been super helpful with everything that we've done. So I saved it for today. All right. I was listening to that track nonstop over the weekend. No Place Like Home from the band Ninth Key. Ninth Key is the rapper Echo, who I have seen live before. Saw him in Salt Lake City open up for From Ashes to New. It's the rapper Echo with this other band called Low Spirit. And together they formed the band Ninth Key. And they kind of have that Linkin Park sound to them. They're really big on mental health and all of that. So we'll be talking a lot about that on the interview that I'll potentially get on our YouTube channel at KBear101RMG. Victor's interview with this next artist is also on that YouTube channel, KBear101RMG. It's Poppy. Time will tell on KBear 101. Well, on Saturday, the Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson played in his first home game since tearing his right Achilles tendon in October of 2024. During the game against the Buffalo Bills, Watson completed 5 of 12 passes for 36 yards with 1 interception. He stunk, and the home crowd responded with loud boos. After the game, Watson said the crowd reaction was just straight up disrespectful, and that it had nothing to do about the performance. It's a little bit more personal than that, he said. Well, considering Watson will be paid $230 million before his contract runs out this year, and considering he gave the team 0 success during his tenure, it's understandable that the fans are frustrated. If you're not going to boo this guy, who are you going to boo? And we haven't even mentioned all that massage therapist mess he brought to the table, Let's see if the Browns and Watson can part ways sooner than later, as plenty of insiders suggest should happen. He won't quit because he's still getting $46 million this year. The Browns might just have to pay him not to play. Some bad news for tennis. Some bad news for tennis fans. Jannik Sinner. That's a cool name. Jannik Sinner, the #1 men's player in the world, won't be playing in the upcoming U.S. Open due to a knee injury. He won the tournament in 2024, was the runner-up last year, but unfortunately needs time to recover. It's a bummer considering he hasn't missed a Grand Slam tournament since making his professional debut at the 2019 U.S. Open. And And here we go, last but not least, in some soccer news. Sometimes a wild animal, such as a squirrel, running around on the field will stop a sporting event. On Saturday, a Major League Soccer match between Minnesota United and the San Jose Earthquakes had to be paused because a toddler, as in a small human being, was running around out there. Somehow the kid broke free from the sideline, was streaking. I'm sure the toddler had its clothes on, all right? I'm sure they were just meaning like he was running around in his little outfit, streaking around the field of play until a referee carried the kid to the sideline and out of harm's way. That's one way to make a soccer match entertaining. That's your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. I know I won't get to enjoy GTA 6 when it first comes out, but I am so glad I am no longer a console gamer and having to worry about getting the next-gen console. I do have to worry about upgrading my PC, but I can do bits and pieces here and there. I was just reading about the PS6, the PlayStation 6, was expected to be released next year, but of course Sony has revealed that they cannot give a launch date yet because of, quote, supply chain issues. This is becoming the new, like, NBA excuse when a player doesn't play. They go, oh, it's because of load management, supply chain issues. It's like when an airline also blames the weather for everything. It's like, no, it's 75 degrees and sunny. What do you mean weather is going to get in the way? Just weather, because they don't want to tell you the actual reason. Sony says that having a reliable source of components has become difficult as AI companies continue to buy up massive amounts of RAM for data centers. And there's more bad news. When the PS6 actually does become available, it will be more expensive. Some industry insiders expecting a list price of over $700. Is it really going to be more expensive, or are they just wanting to become more greedy? I'm thinking more so corporate greed, you know? Sony really is sucking as of late. With the no more physical copies as of 2028, the PlayStation 6 on pause. Get it together, Sony. Here's Chiodos. Tap that on K-Bear. All right, since we like brutal beef and liquid cheese so much around here, I haven't actually had a burger in a very long time. And I'm not saying that as a bragging point. I've just been, honing in on this diet. Over the weekend, I forgot to mention this. Yeah, over the weekend, I weighed myself on Sunday, and I'm officially down to 348. That's right, 348 pounds, which is still a lot, but it's so far away from 399 back when I first started. 51 pounds. At first, when I weighed myself, I saw 342, and I was like, there's no way I lost 8 pounds in the span of a week. So then I re-weighed myself, and then it said 348. I'm like, that makes more sense. But I did mess up my morning weight loss routine. I have been messing it up, actually. You're not supposed to actually eat or drink anything. Like even my black tea, not supposed to drink it. I'm just supposed to wake up, wait for my body to be like, okay, now it's time to go use the restroom. Empty out, and then go on the scale, and that's your true weight. Because your weight fluctuates, and that's why, like, if you try to weigh yourself every single day, it's going to severely mess you up mentally. Like, I did that for, like, the span of 4 days, because the app was telling me to do so. And I'm like, there's no way that this is supposed to be happening every single day, because I was really getting affected by it. But anyway, going back to the whole brutal beef and liquid cheese thing, what is an ingredient you've used on a burger that's heavily underrated? One of my absolute favorites, the fried egg. I know my mom does not like the leaky yolk. She finds that absolutely disgusting. She won't even look at the food if you have eggs with a leaky yolk. But I love it, man. I think it's fantastic. I think the yolk that runs down on the burger is one of the best things. So what is an ingredient you've used on a burger that's heavily underrated? Roasted green chili. Sounds amazing. Fig jam. I don't think I've tried that, but sure, I will. Pickled onions? Yeah, why not? Basil pesto. Oh, sounds amazing. Pimento cheese, pineapple. You got a good teriyaki burger, which, doesn't sound appealing to me, but you know what? I'll try it. But then you have these weirdos like peanut butter. Cream cheese and pepper jelly. Doesn't sound too bad. Have I had peanut butter on a burger before? I could have sworn I had one of those for like a fair food thing because, there was that one time when I worked at In-N-Out, some customer came in. This is how I've held on to this for this whole time because I've thought about this guy who came into In-N-Out asking if we had Krispy Kreme donuts for buns. How crazy do you have to be to walk into an In-N-Out burger and ask for a Krispy Kreme donut as a bun. He wasn't even like some big fat guy either. No, he was like a normal sized dude. And he walks up to me and just asks, do you have a Krispy Kreme donut as a bun? Do you guys do that around here? I'm like, no, but it sounds awesome. I'll try it. Apparently, TikTok is becoming a better place to find a job than some of the actual job sites. A lot of companies are using software to sort through resumes before a person ever looks at them, so some younger job seekers are skipping the whole thing and putting themselves out there on TikTok instead. They're posting video resumes, showing off their work, talking about what they can do, and basically saying, here I am, you don't have to dig through 300 resumes to find me. And it actually seems to be working. TikTok has become a major job search tool for Gen Z, and people are using it to get interviews, even land jobs. It makes sense. A resume tells you what somebody says they can do. A video can actually show you the person. And if you're looking for a part-time job where you can put your accounting skills to work, check out the newly redesigned HireEastIdaho.com. This week's job of the week is a part-time accounts receivable clerk with TEC Distributing of Idaho in Idaho Falls. It's 20 to 25 hours a week, paying $15 to $17 an hour, working with invoices, payments, customer accounts. You can apply at HireEastIdaho.com, where you'll find hundreds of other jobs across East Idaho. Hire East Idaho, connecting people with opportunity. Man, these kids got it easy. I was reading here about how AI may be helping students get better grades on homework, but a new study suggests that it could be hurting what they actually learn. Researchers tracked more than 26,000 students and found out those using AI saw homework scores rise 18%, while cutting the time spent on assignments by nearly 30. I hate to admit this. It's been so long now, though, that it's been 12 years. 13? Technically 13 since I've taken this class, AP Environmental Science. This was pre-AI, and I hated that class. I wanted to take at least one advanced placement class to prove that I was smart. My sister, Bailey, smartest person ever. I hope she makes more money than me because, well, I hope she flourishes more in life than me because she spent hours upon hours on homework, and she is just such an animal in a good way when it comes to getting stuff done. She's the nicest person. She's the type that would kill you with kindness no matter what. She'll beat you in something and smile the whole time. She's that kind of person. But when it comes to homework, I mean, she spent hours upon hours. She also went to school pre-AI. I mean, she graduated. What year did she graduate? Is it 2024? It had to be. Yeah, she graduated college in 2024. This was pre-ChatGPT being widely used. And I don't think she would have used it anyway. She's such a good person. It's very weird. It's very hard to find anything that's bad about her. Really. I mean, she's just awesome. Where was I going with this? I just started talking about my sister. How awesome she is. About AI helping students with homework. Yeah, like, oh yeah, AP Environmental Science. That's where I was going. And so I wanted to show off and be like, I can take an AP class too. And I took it, and it was like one of the worst classes. I'm not blaming the teacher. I'm not blaming my ability to learn. I just hated the subject matter. I thought it was just completely boring. I don't know why I decided to take that class. AP Environmental Science. We called it APES. APES. And I would grab people's homework from the turn-in basket in the back of the class, and then I would take it with me and just copy it. And that's how I got my good grade. Don't be like me, kids. Actually do something. Be like Bailey instead. Man, I can't wait to be back at home in California. Every single time I hear a song regarding some place in California, it just makes me want to go back home, and I'm counting down the days. 4 more days till I can get up on out of here, go see my friends and family, celebrate my 30th birthday this upcoming Saturday. It's the final week that I'm in my 20s, and I can't believe, honestly, I genuinely cannot believe that it's flown by that fast. I mean, really, it's flown by extremely fast, and I'm going to be entering my 30s here very, very, very soon. What was the point of this break? I just started bragging about how it's the final week of my 20s, and that's pretty much it. Like, oh, do you have a set of friends that cannot stop fighting? And you're like, you guys are too old to be doing this? my friend Matt and my other friend Jose, they keep going back and forth. Matt will go on these crazy tirades in the group chat. And so Jose texts me on Friday going, hey, happy Friday, by the way, I don't think I can be friends with Matt anymore. And I'm like, okay, sounds good, Jose, because I knew this was going to happen. Sure enough, this morning, they must have made up over the weekend or something, because this morning, another group chat with all of us in it, including my friend Christian, gets formed, and everything seems to be back to normal. Which is why you should never, if your two friends are ever fighting, or if they're fighting with like their significant other and they come to you and go, hey, like me and so-and-so have been arguing, you can't just say, well, screw that other person. Because who knows if they'll go back to being friends. And then, of course, what's going to happen? Oh, by the way, Peaches says he absolutely hates you. Here's Bad Omens, Dying to Love on K-Bear 101. Well, speaking of rattling the cage, I didn't realize Dear Abby still existed. Those advice columns still existed. Well, we're going to talk about one right here. A woman wrote to Dear Abby about her longtime best friend who she considers family. She's worried because her friend has serious health issues, has been told by doctors to lose weight, but instead has gained more. She says food is the only thing that makes her happy. Now, I don't want to make fun of this person because I was that person. I don't necessarily want to keep making fun of people like this or at all, especially people who are just vulnerable like that. And like for the longest time, I only ate Taco Bell and Culver's, and that's why my weight went to $3.99. But I did have friends that made some. I do have friends that made some rude comments and said things like, "I miss the old Brendan back when you were skinny," kind of thing. Well, the friend and her husband, who also has a weight problem, frequently eat out. The writer feels helpless watching someone she loves struggle with obesity, heart problems, pain, other health concerns. She wondered if writing a heartfelt letter about how much people need her would finally get through. But what is Dear Abby's response? Probably not. Abby says it sounds like the friend has already heard these concerns many times and real change won't happen unless both she and her husband decide they're ready to address the problem. I have a friend by the name of Christian. Him and his other friends bullied this one guy back to lose all this weight. He lost like 200 pounds just eating like chicken and broccoli. Now, bullying is certainly not the answer. But at least for me, when I had enough pressure from my friends and more so the doctor, I was like, you know what? It's time. And it finally just clicked on me earlier this year. And of course, now I'm down 51 pounds and I'm still trying my best to get down even lower. It's not necessarily, this is not supposed to be a bragging break. Like, oh, good for you, Peaches. But like, I've seen people posting about trying to lose weight and having this unhealthy relationship with food. And it's tough. It's very tough. But I'm hoping for any person tuned in right now trying to get through it, you can, all right? You just got to power through, be consistent. The worst part is being consistent because you want to have that fast food so bad. But please, by all means, do what you can. Keep fighting. Disturbed on K-Bear 101, Idaho's only rock station. I went hot tubbing with my two friends, Bryson and Charlotte, over the weekend. And it was rather cool, actually, because we were in the hot tub with the rain coming down, and I felt like a Vessel from Sleep Token. I felt like I was in this awesome music video. Wrap your arms around me. Wanted to get up and get my air. Start singing like that. Arms around me. There was a maintenance guy that decided, you know what? I'm going to get in the hot tub too. And the hot tub's huge. He's on the complete opposite end. And I got up to do something. Me and Bryson walked into the clubhouse. And then we come back out, and Charlotte is talking to this guy. His name's Jordan. And we were just talking, getting to know the guy, and found out he's one of the property maintenance guys there and all of that. And we were talking about our jobs, and sure enough, I brought up the fact that I'm Peaches from K-Bear, and I'm not like going, hey, I'm secretly Peaches from K-Bear. Look how cool I am. No, I think he asked me first, what do you do? And I say, well, the radio station K-Bear 101 or Z103. I'm the voice in between the songs in the afternoons. And of course, he was like, do you do anything cool like the Brooks and Jubal show or something like that? And I go, well, any single time. I knew where he was going with this because that station is full of prank calls. And like we've said many times on the air, any single time you have to tell somebody that the prank calls aren't real on the radio, It's like telling a kid Santa doesn't exist and then providing evidence that Santa doesn't exist. Like, you have to go, well, you see, everything that you hear is fake on the radio, except for like the breaks that I'm doing like right now. This is 100% authentic. But if I were to be like, oh, it's peaches, roses, we're going to see if so-and-so's cheating on so-and-so, let's get them on the phone. And then I call some like voice actress. I get Maddie from down the hall to pretend to be like Amber or something like that. I just came up with some girl's name, and she's cheating on her boyfriend, such and such. And I get Jeff on the other line, and I go, hey, who would you like to send these flowers to? Because like we've talked about before with the FCC rules, that you have to get people's permission before and after. So it'd be kind of pointless to do a prank call and be like, hey, by the way, we're going to do something for the radio. Is that cool? Okay, I'm going to call you back here in just a few. I call them back and go, hey, is your refrigerator running? And then afterwards, I have to get their permission to air it. Just seems dumb, right? So, yeah, any prank call that you hear on the radio is 100% fake. Sorry for breaking the news to you. I'm cold, just like this next song. I completely forgot to mention this at the start of the show. Was it Saturday morning? I think it was. Saturday morning, I was about to head out the door to go play basketball at the gym. And I ran a little bit behind because, well, as soon as I opened the door, this cat that I have been petting outside my apartment decided, you know what? I'm just going to make my way inside. And so he did a complete tour around my place, smelling everything. I'm like, kitty, come on, we got to get going. Come on. Did a big lap, still would not leave. I don't know if he wanted to live with me or if he was just like, hey, I kind of like it in here. He's somebody's pet, has no collar on, which, I mean, every pet should, right? Every pet should have a collar, be microchipped, especially if you have a cat that, like, lives predominantly outside. Of course, I send a Snapchat out to my friends. What do they do? What do they say? Oh, the cat distribution system chose you. No way. I'm not having the cat tear up my furniture, pee and poop everywhere, just cause a big mess, have to be babysat, I like the fact that I'm just able to get up and go. I'm able to go to my parents' place, fly back home whenever, not to worry about getting a pet sitter, even though I think Victor, Josh, Jade, Maddie even would perfectly babysit this cat, or cat sit, I should say. This cat is extremely nice. Extremely nice. But yeah, I wouldn't want a cat tearing up my furniture. Plus my nose, my allergies would go off. This cat's extremely friendly, though. I give it belly rubs outside. I had to tell the guys at basketball, like, hey, I'm so sorry for being late. I'm just petting this cat that made its way into my place. And I think it lives across the street. I think I watched it for a little while after it left, too, finally. And it went to some house, not even on my street. He just likes to visit my specific building, just because he likes me, I guess. Lincoln Park on K-Barrett 101, Idaho's only rock station. I saw plenty of Lincoln Park videos pop up over the weekend. I guess people are rediscovering like old Chester Bennington videos of him just being funny and weird at the same time. And there's an old webcam video from like 2002 where he just randomly screams and like blows out the audio. But then there were live videos that I saw of the band performing without Chester. There was a tribute show, of course, back in 2017, shortly after he passed away, and the fans were singing his parts. And there was like a few people in the comments going, Lincoln Park should have not gotten that lady. Emily Armstrong. Lincoln Park should have not gotten that lady and just had the crowd sing Chester's parts. That way they could still be Lincoln Park. Well, I think the band also wanted to make new music, and that's why they decided to include another musician. And unpopular opinion, I like the new Linkin Park sound. I like the new Linkin Park. Obviously, she's not going to replace Chester, but obviously Chester's not around anymore, so they had to keep going without him. And Heavy as the Crown, The Emptiness Machine, all these other tracks they've put out there, I kind of dig. Maybe I should post that in r/unpopular opinion. There's a time and place for literally everything, all right? You can go to the bar, try to find your next girlfriend or whatever, boyfriend, whoever it may be, and go flirt with them there. You can send a DM to their social media profile. You can match with them on dating apps, whatever it might be, right? You should not go on LinkedIn and send a flirtatious message to somebody. I was reading this here survey talking about professionals have sent or answered a romantic message on LinkedIn. I might be one of the ugliest dudes then, because the only messages I get on LinkedIn are like sponsored posts. You know, those automated messages that mean absolutely nothing. Or they tell me like, hey, a new job has opened up and it has nothing to do with my field. LinkedIn supposedly has an anti-flirting policy, because I think there has been those women who have shared posts on LinkedIn talking about like, hey, I'm just trying to promote myself and my career, and there are dudes in my DMs. It's like the steak is too juicy argument, or the steak is too juicy, my lobster's too buttery, that kind of thing. Like, oh no, I'm getting hit on LinkedIn. It's one thing like to get hit on those messages, but it's another thing for like a weird, creepy dude to be like, hey, I see you where you work. I'm kind of close by. That's when it gets weird. All right? Just don't flirt with people on LinkedIn, okay? Here's Weezer. We might as well be strangers on K-Bear 101. And here we go with today's What's the Headline on K-Bear 101. Paramedics hoping to practice the art of life-saving burst. The art of life-saving. They burst into a Vancouver gallery to discover that a person in distress was actually a statue that was part of a larger installation. Paramedics rescue statue. The owner, oh my goodness, what is this name? Saghi Etshamzadeh, says the Vancouver Police Department called her late one night last week to inform her there was someone in the gallery. The VPD, the Vancouver Police Department, said they received a report of a person's feet sticking out from behind a counter and believed medical assistance was needed. When the crew made their way inside, they found that the endangered person was actually a sculpture, the Preparator by Alyssa Pierre. The piece depicts an art preparator, sometimes referred to as an art handler, much easier to pronounce there, kneeling over a crate with her upper body disappearing inside. Etshamzadeh says the break-in caused $1,000 in damage. One of the close friends of the artist lives across from the gallery. She comes and tells police that this is actually an artwork, and they don't take her word for it. The work is featured on the website. I love how this is a habitual thing. It's an art piece, not somebody in distress. That is today's What the Headline right here on K-Bear 101. Not so crazy today, but you know what? It'll work. All right, what was I reading here? Toilet taboo, why we have bidet issues. The U.S. accounts for 4% of the world's population and consumes 20% of the world's toilet paper. This involves chopping down 31 million trees each year. This isn't ideal for our backsides or the environment, especially considering 70% of the world is having a, quote, better time in the bathroom with their bidets. What do you mean? But why hasn't the U.S. gotten on the bidet bandwagon? Well, historians suggest, this is what it says in the article here, historians suggest it started in Europe in World War II. It seems American GIs were stationed in Europe during World War II, where they were introduced to bidets while visiting French brothels. The servicemen associated the bidets with naughtiness and bad behavior to the point it made them squeamish. So here we sit, rough squares of paper on our delicate bits, while much of the world is washing a, quote, better way. Big bidet wanting people to replace their toilet paper with a nice bidet installation. But, like, it sprays your butt, right? It sprays between the crack, whatever. How are you supposed to dry it off? Do you just walk around with a wet butt afterward? Like, that's it? It doesn't blow dry your butt? You're just supposed to, like, have it spray your cheeks, everything in between. And then you go, okay, cool, I'm clean now. Or, like, does it, like, end the cycle? Because you can't see it, obviously. It sprays you, and then you just put the underwear back on, and then, of course, your shorts, pants, whatever, and just go about your merry way with a wet backside. I should Google search that. Anyway, here's a perfect circle, starless on K-Bear. All right, this should have been today's headline here to wrap up the show. I saw that this headline. It's absolutely insane. Tree trimmer charged with crushing coworker while playing shadow puppets in Apple Valley. I don't even know how you get to this point. Two tree trimming workers in Minnesota. It's tough to say. Two tree trimming workers in Minnesota They were apparently messing around while they were working. The guy operating the big hydraulic grapple noticed the son was making a shadow on the street. They started playing around with it, right? He moved the grapple around so the shadow would look like it was grabbing his coworker, except he didn't realize the actual grapple was right next to him. He closed it and fatally crushed his coworker's head. The guy now faces a manslaughter charge and could get up to 10 years in prison. This is a heavy piece of machinery that can pick up a tree. Maybe don't use it to play shadow puppets. I mean, what a way to go out. How do you explain that to your boss? Did he just cry profusely for days afterward? Is he still crying right now? I bet he is. You just killed your coworker. What a great way to end today's show.
Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.